Hello, family. My name is Finny Pooh.
And I'm Video Girl.
And welcome to another Insomniacs live stream. How's it going?
Hi.
Hi. Let me go ahead and...
there's a chat.
Yeah, chat's over on this side. Let's see here.
Wait a minute. We are missing something.
Oh, we are missing something?
Yes, I will be right back.
Okay. Well, Finny Girl shall return then. In the meantime, how's it going, everybody? We've got Racing Fan, we've got Gamer.io, we've got Moises, we've got Flash all here so far. Welcome to the live stream. Hi. Hello. Salud. All that good stuff. Hey, yo, how's it going, Blue Mew? Welcome to the live stream. Glad you could make it as well. Anybody else that I might be missing here that I should yell at? Hello. How's it going, Paul? Welcome to the live stream. Where? Let's see here. Okay, we're good. I think we're good. And there's the...
It's not a stream without mini ears. Thank you.
Hot dog.
You could actually pretend to be enthused.
Hot dog, hot diggity dog. Moment you give a big hint for coming out to, but your parents don't understand, so you just gotta get to the point. Yep, you just gotta get it out there. Hot dog. How's it going? Yes. Are you happy?
I am, actually.
Good.
Thank you for asking.
Good. But yeah.
Now what?
Well, now we first off, wait for a couple more people to join in. Say hello to everybody.
Just get right in. Just start right now.
Just start right now.
Yeah, it's their loss if they're
their
late.
loss. Okay.
No, I mean if you want to wait, that's fine.
I could go for a hot dog right now. I mean, yeah, good point. But yeah, as you can tell by the title, this is what we wish we knew before we went to Disney. This is the start of a new series that we're gonna do.
No, we're just gonna play Minecraft wearing mini ears.
Oh, she said it. We're playing Minecraft. I'm pulling it up right now. I'm pulling it up right now.
No.
Minecraft launcher, updating the launcher.
No,
Excellent.
I'm kidding. I was joking.
That's the most American thing I've ever heard. Well, your loss. Oh, hey, look, the Minecraft launcher's open.
I was joking.
Here we go. Oh, look at that. New installation and everything like that. Oh. Good to know. All right, we'll keep that right there. New installation. Latest release already, 1.18.
Honey, I was joking.
Anyway.
Joke.
Anywho. We're actually going to talk more about what we wish we knew before we went to Disney. This is episode 1 of the series. We're aiming for about 8 episodes. They won't all be live. I think this is probably going to be the only one that's going to be actually live. And then we'll do actual recorded reviews.
Do we have like a plot or something?
Well, kind of, sort of. So, I mean, we'll actually have...
Are there certain things that I'm supposed to talk about now, but talk about later?
Today is just sort of impressions in general, first thoughts, feelings, that sort of thing. Things we like, stories. Just getting all the hype out is what today is all about. But we'll be going through each of the parks one by one, about individual things like rides and experiences. Then we'll have like an episode all about like the food that we experienced, and then additional things like, I don't know, like character experiences and things like that.
Well, just during this stream, I may be bouncy.
And that's okay. That's what today's for.
Disney just kind of blurred all together. So if you're asking me, tell me about Magic Kingdom, and then slowly transition into Hollywood. No. It's going to be like, oh, I remembered this happened, and then that happened, and that happened too. But this was really amazing. That wasn't so amazing. Just FYI.
You also got RL Craft? Oof. Ugh.
That I'm breaking out really bad, so ignore my acne. It's gross. I'm gross. I'm sad. I miss you.
How did this happen? But, yeah, today's getting all that out. We'll do, each of the 4 parks. We'll do food. We'll do, merchandise, things that we got and things like that. And then sort of other things that don't fall into place will be their own separate things. Plus sort of, like, frequently asked questions by you guys. So if you have like specific questions that are asked over and over and over again, we'll answer those in that final episode. So we were aiming for about an 8 episode series. This is episode 1, probably the only one that will be live, but I say let's get into it.
Where's my child?
I don't know.
Get my child in here. They're late.
They are late.
How dare they?
Let me yell at them.
Yeah, go yell at my child. Say mom's mad.
Hey, mom's mad. You need to come to stream now.
They're gonna come into stream and be like, what did I do?
Mom, what?
Oh gosh.
Oh, this is gonna be horrible. This is gonna be awful.
You're a terrible person.
You told me to!
Not like that! I just wanted to know where my child was. Because I love them. Not like that. But like the motherly love.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. What? She's gonna kill me later.
Yeah, most likely.
This is confusion. Yes, it is, Bluey. Yes, it is.
So...
What did I do wrong? You're a terrible person. You told me to. No, don't ask. Don't ask.
No, I was just noticing all the people that were in stream and noticed that you weren't one of them. And so I was asking where my child was because I miss you.
Yeah.
Is that so bad? Does that make me a terrible mother?
I'm just gonna...
Good job.
Yeah, excuse me.
Decapitated your grandfather.
Tell her mom's mad.
Anywho, we come to talk about Disney.
Yes. Where should we start?
The mouse, the myth, the legend. But anyway,
well, first off, how many people haven't gone to Disney World?
Yeah.
Or it's been a very, very long time.
Have you been? Have you not been? Because this was our very first time ever. Like, we went... Okay, so... I have been to Disneyland, that's the one in California, twice. One when I was 18 months old, that doesn't count, and one when I was 8 with my grandma and my aunt.
Right.
And just to kind of give you, like, timeline, spoiler alert, I'm almost 28. So it's been, like, almost 20 years since I've been to anything Disney related. Okay?
Only been to the one in Cali and Paris. And then Paul has never been.
Dude, you've been to the one in Paris? Shut up.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then I've never, ever, ever been to the one in Florida until recently. So that was my first... In my opinion, that was my very first, like, true, genuine Disney experience. I wasn't just going because somebody brought me along or, like, whatever. Like, I'm going for me. So we went completely blind. Like, I mean, yeah, what's the
it was pouring rain. Oh, it was pouring rain in the Paris one?
Oof. But we joined a couple of Facebook groups, which we can recommend later.
Yeah, that'll probably be the last thing.
That kind of, had some tidbits of information here and there. But, for the most part, we went in, like, completely just... So, and what's really cool is, and Finn was mentioning this, he's like, I didn't even plan this. But during our trip, we experienced the 50th anniversary of just Disney. Hence the special
these are 50th anniversary years. They were
so.
Everywhere in the park.
I don't know if the camera can zoom in on that, honey. But it says Walt Disney World 50 on the side. So, but these are the special edition 50th anniversary ears.
And then these are just Star Wars ears.
And then we actually experienced Walt Disney World's birthday, like
Walt's birthday,
Walt's birthday himself during this trip. We experienced Christmas on this trip, like
the
Disney's Christmas celebration.
Merriest Christmas or whatever.
Yeah. And so there was a lot of things that happened on this trip, which, if I'm being, like, completely honest, we probably shouldn't have done for our very first trip.
It was a lot to take in all at once. We were kind of stuck trying to do as many things as we possibly could to hit all of these small things that were happening. So, like, the very first night, we landed at about 4:40-ish Eastern, and we had what we thought was far enough in advance. We had Be Our Guest. So we actually, on our very first night, the day we arrived, at 7:45 p.m., we had Be Our Guest. And we thought, 3 hours, that's actually more time than we thought we were going to have. That should be plenty of time to get off the plane, get our luggage, get the rent-a-car, check into our hotel, and then be able to get to the park on time. We were lucky enough to, like, get all the way through rent-a-car and, out of the airport by, 5:15-ish. That went really quick, but then it was an hour to get to our hotel, which normally is only half an hour, but because...
Just to the hotel, not to Disney. From the airport to the hotel.
Yeah.
It was an hour
It was an hour, yeah. And normally it's like a half-hour drive. It's normally what it is, but...
We hit Florida rush hour.
5 o'clock, that should have been your tip-off. And so it took us an hour, and that was taking a tollway. It was still almost an hour to get there.
Which, ADHD side note, if you're like us, Oregonians, who don't experience toll roads every day, bring money for toll roads.
Yes. Make sure you bring money for toll roads.
Make sure, just in general, make sure that you have, multiple forms of payment for Disney. I'll get to that later, but just for now, while he's talking about that,
because
bring cash.
Because these are just stories that we're going through, our general experience, and then we'll break it down in future episodes. I used to have a Disney jacket, or I think I have a Disney jacket that says Disney 1955. Oh, perfect. 55. Don't ask 55. So we made it through the rush hour, and we made it to our hotel around 6:30. Is what it ended up being. It was right around 6:30. And so we had to check in to our hotel, turn around, make it back through a little bit of traffic, not a ton, but we did have to make it back through a little bit of traffic, park the car, walk all the way through security onto the monorail.
Run.
That's something else I'm going to talk about. And then make it into the very back of the park in order to make it to our reservation in an hour. So we checked in, and of course, when we got our room was the very top floor, at the very back, and we'll get to our room in a little bit, but it was the very furthest corner of the hotel that you could possibly get.
Yep.
Like I said, we'll talk more about our hotel room in a little bit, but we went from there. Since we were off property, we had to book it from there all the way back down to our car, and then book it in. We got to the parking gate, where you go to pay and everything, and
Okay. Buckle your seatbelt, ladies and gents and non-binary.
And anybody else.
Anyway, so I would just really stress the fact if you're getting in late and by late I mean anything after like 2 Eastern time. Don't do anything. Just unpack in your hotel room. Just chill. If they have a hot tub, go use the hot tub or the pool or whatever. Because, oh my gosh. I kid you not. We booked it and we are so out of breath. And this poor woman asked us, to pay for parking.
And we're still, catching our breath.
Like, here it is, 7:15 or something.
Yeah, it was 7:15 because our reservation was at 7:45.
Let's actually back up a little bit. So I was dumb. I punched in just to Google our restaurant.
Oh, that's why, yes.
And so, because what happened was I tried taking us from our hotel to the actual Be Our Guest restaurant, not realizing that it's like the furthest part of the park of Magic Kingdom.
Long story short, it took us all the way to the backside of the park, outside of the park.
I didn't realize that I should have typed into Google just Magic Park entrance instead of Be Our Guest. So it took us into this dark alleyway sketch place of Magic Kingdom.
Basically where all the employees go.
And so we had to turn around and go to the entrance, and then once we finally found where we were supposed to be, we're out of breath. We're trying to explain to this poor parking lady that we're trying to get to our reservation. We don't want to miss out on this very difficult reservation that we got. And we're just talking over each other. We're very angry. There was some yelling at each other.
Yes,
but anyway,
we were both so trying to compose ourselves.
But anyway, long story short, she just said, just go. And we're like, what do you mean? She's like, just go ahead. Parking's on me. Have a magical day.
Make it to your reservation on time.
And so she gave us free parking,
it's $25 a day for parking.
I'm not saying that that's going to happen for everybody or for you even, but they're very understanding, and the cast members, I can't call them employees, the cast members. They do their best to make sure that you have the most magical trip ever and filled with pixie dust.
And as sarcastic and, joking as that sounds, it genuinely, I know sometimes the working conditions aren't the best. And, I'm not going to stand here and try to, stand on a pedestal for, cast members or anything like that. But as an outsider, somebody who doesn't really understand what happens behind the scenes, it really truly was one of those things that brought a little bit of relief to us for our trip.
Oh, and you have a raid.
Oh, Phenom Nation raid. How's it going, Wild? How's it going, Effect? Welcome to the live stream.
We're talking about Disney, if you couldn't tell. We just started. But anyway, long story short, so we park the car. We get out of the car. We run. And there's stroll. There's walk. There's speed walk. There's sprint. And then there's what Finn and I did. And I'm kidding. There's this mob of people. And we're trying to literally run. And here there's me being like, oh my gosh, it's Cinderella's
And I'm
castle.
Trying to drag her through.
I'm trying to take in the magic of Magic Kingdom, hence the name Magic Kingdom. And I'm just it's so pretty. And you're like, hun, we have a reservation to go to. Let's go.
Spike? Yes, let's get a Spike going.
And so we're running. And we finally get to our dinner reservation completely out of breath, huffing and puffing, probably already put in at least 4,000 steps already. And
no, that's what your Fitbit said. It said we had done about 5,000 steps.
Yeah, just to get from the entrance to our reservation.
Now, granted that about 2,000 was probably through airports and whatnot, but Anyway, and hello Lava, how's it going? I just want to say hi to all the raiders. How was the stream? How was everything that happened? I believe you guys were doing Minecraft Dungeons. How was that? please do say that in the chat. We're right now, to catch everybody up, we're just starting our sort of the stories of everything. This is episode 1 of 8 that we're going to be doing. So we're just kind of going through our stories tonight of what happened and actually like spilling out everything about our trip. So
if we ever get to it. But
hey,
anyway,
I am sorry.
As I was saying, we
How's it
finally
going,
get to our reservation, and we're like, hi, we're the blah blah blahs, party of 2, we're here for our blah 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 reservation, and we're just like winded. And another pixie dust in disguise, the lady says, well, we're actually running 20 minutes behind on reservations.
And we're like, that's fine.
And so we're like, that's totally okay. That's totally fine. And so they're like, but our person will call you up when they're ready for you. And so we had all that rushing.
No, they didn't say the person. They said the beast will.
Sorry. Well,
the beast will.
The person calling out people's names, party of blank, and then whatever. So, yeah.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Yes, I am, but you most definitely not garbage. Thank you, Pack Wolf. Welcome back. Here's the do. Here's to you.
In a while. How have you been? I hope good.
Hopefully pretty good.
Happy holidays.
Hello.
You know,
let's get a hashtag Pack Wolf in
I'm
the
not
chat.
gonna lie. Some of you where you're like, hey, Phinia girl, do you remember me? Yes. Yes, I do. And I think of you.
A lot.
And I'm like, I wonder how they're doing. So just throwing that out there.
I went to Disney, kind of. Downtown Disney, which is close enough for a family of 7. Fair enough.
So anyway, so that was our fun little intro into Magic Kingdom.
So, Be Our Guest was amazing. Like, really, really cool. Again, we'll go into more details about the experience.
Is there anything we're not supposed to talk about?
Well,
I mean... can I just talk about anything and everything?
It's anything and everything. Just don't go into too much detail, because we do want to save some of the stories for, like, the actual, like, different episodes. But we can talk about things. It's fine.
Well, something that I recommend, just... obviously, don't go, like, hog wild on dining reservations, but don't, like, not schedule dining reservations.
That's what Maurice, by the way. Hi.
So, the reason, the thing that comes with reservations is that you have, like, a 15 to 20-ish minute window, but if you're on the other side of the park... and you're trying to make it to a reservation, you better hoof it, and hoof it fast. Because, of course, there's no, like, direct phone number to anything in the park. It's just one big massive number for Disney World. And depending on what time of the day you call, you will be...
Okay. Just making sure it works.
You will be sitting on hold for... forever and a day. So there's no way to like call the restaurant ahead of time and be like, hey, we're so-and-so, we're running a couple minutes late. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So it puts a little bit of pressure in your schedule if you're not paying close enough attention to the time or like how long you'll be waiting in line or whatever. So it can, I guess, put a damper in like, oh, well, we have to cut this plan short because we have a reservation, you know, kind of thing. But I'm not trying to like badmouth reservations because reservations are good. They're great. And sometimes the reservation itself is an experience in and of itself. Yeah. So, like, Be Our Guest, for an example, was a very beautiful, oh my gosh, great introduction into Magic Kingdom. Yep. But warning, it is expensive.
Yes. Definitely sort of a, like, once in a lifetime sort of thing. Let me answer a couple questions and then I'll continue. Hey, Finn, question, how long did you walk for and was it exhausting? Well, one of the days that we had, I'll make it short and sweet, Epcot was the only park that we tried to do in one day. That was a mistake because Epcot is one of the biggest parks, unbeknownst to us, and we ended up doing a little over 30,000 steps that day.
Which most average standard doctors tell you to strive for 10,000 steps a day. So we did triple that in one.
We had a reservation for Ratatouille, but didn't go because of rain. Oof. Yikes. Wife has twins and I have 3 kids.
We had a reservation for the Ratatouille restaurant, but we didn't go because rain.
You are over 30,000 awesome. No. You.
30,000 steps.
30,000 steps is not awesome. I think that night we just turned on the hot water in the bathtub that we had, and we just soaked our feet for like 15 minutes.
Another random ADHD thought: have darn good shoes.
And have 2 pairs.
And I'm not talking like the flimsy, cheap crap. No, like invest in some high quality shoes. Shoes that make it feel like you are walking on a cloud. Because
Agreed.
that feeling won't last for very long
Agreed.
in Disney. I mean, when you're walking from one end of the park to another, when you're standing in line for 2 hours.
We'll get to that.
You're gonna want shoes that are gonna keep up.
Nike,
So,
yeah, Nikes. We had Vans.
We invested in some Vans, and like Finn was saying, have a minimum of 2 pairs. So then that way you can switch them
Back
out
and forth.
every day.
Here's something you wish you knew before Disney: Minecraft's 1.18 release date. Yeah, that's true. That is very, very true. Stream with Magic Man Mo on Friday. Nice. Invested, yes, definitely. So going back to Be Our Guest, amazing experience. We were lucky enough to have merriest after hours, which allowed us to stay in the park the night we got there until 1 in the morning.
Investment ever.
It's basically a permanent fast pass. We walked on the 7 Dwarfs mine train. We walked on to...
Which normally has an hour plus wait during the day, by the way.
We walked on to Space Mountain. We walked on to Small World. Trying to think of other rides that we walked on to. Winnie the Pooh we walked on to.
I think the Little Mermaid too, didn't we? Or did we do that the next day? I don't remember.
That was next day, I think.
Okay.
It was the Goofy's the airplane one. I'm spacing out on the name.
The what?
Barnstormer. That's the one. Barnstormer.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Remember?
So much so we went on it twice, back to back. Like we didn't even get out of the ride because there was no line. The person operating it was just like, "You want to go again?" And we're like, "Yeah."
And we didn't even have to get up.
We didn't even have to get out. He just let us go again. Because once again, there was nobody in line.
Remember Minefairs in Houston? I wore my brand new All-Star type shoes and walked so much it torn them up. Bad idea. Ugh. Ooh.
So,
I don't think we had it that bad. But...
you set aside money for good shoes. I cannot stress that enough. You will be on your feet a lot. You will be averaging 15,000 to 20,000 steps a day. And that doesn't matter if it's Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, or Hollywood Studios. You will be averaging that much per day.
It can weigh you down if you're not careful.
So, if you need to spend like $100 on shoes to feel comfortable, do it.
And your feet will thank you. I love it when that happens. Just say seated and right again. I know, right? So we after the merriest after hours, which was great. They had a special little show and everything like that. Great fireworks.
Really quick to interrupt you. If you're not quite sure what merriest after hours is, and if you're just like, Finn keeps mentioning this, but I don't know what he's talking about. Basically,
Drink plenty of water. Yes.
Magic Kingdom. It's an extra fee that you have to pay. Like I think it was like $200 something per person. So another hefty expense, but worth it. It allows for the Magic Park to stay open, because they normally close at 9, so it's open from 9 p.m. until 1 in the morning. So in case you want to just be there longer, or like us, when you got to the park super late, and you didn't want to have like 1 hour in the park and then be like, "Hey, bye." And there's special like drinks and food and like specific holiday stuff to Magic Kingdom, and like I said, they stay open later, we didn't really do so much of the, like, holiday food and treats and stuff, but like Finn was saying, we used it as an opportunity to just walk on to so many different rides
So that our
normally
second
have,
day
like,
was a little bit
really,
more
really,
chill.
really, really long lines.
When I went, my kids were younger, so I was keeping up with them, and wow, good thing it was back then. I was walking 4 miles at least twice a week and riding a bike over 20 miles round trip twice a week. Yeah. It's a lot of cardio, I agree.
Oh, yeah.
I fully agree. I don't think either of us were in shape for it when we first went, and by the end of the week, this is something else that we will eventually cover. Make sure, if you haven't already, make sure you have at least minimum 2 days per park. Animal Kingdom, kind of the exception if you're more in it for the rides than you are for the experience.
2 days is still good enough for Animal Kingdom.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I'm just... This is an animal lover. If you're an animal lover like we are, then 2 days will definitely work in your favor. But definitely a couple days, and make sure you're spacing out the things you want to do. We tried... The first 3 days were very crammed because we had Merriest After Hours and then 1 day in Magic Kingdom and then 1 day in Epcot.
So,
is our first 3 days.
Yeah. So, like Finn was saying, we went for a total of 7 days?
We went for a total of 7, yes.
Yeah.
Hit the
So,
like button, thank you.
Technically 6.5, but whatever. So we left on November 30th.
Imagine biking through Disney.
Okay? And we got in super late on the 30th. The very first thing that we did was our dinner reservation, and that was 7:45 at night. And they were running late, so we didn't even start until
A little after 8.
A little after
Yeah.
8
We didn't get out until
p.m.
9:30
Eastern time. And that was the very first thing that we got to do in Magic Kingdom. So we didn't really do a lot when we first got into Magic Kingdom until after our dinner reservation. So we had like half of a day in Magic Kingdom, and then
another day at Magic
we had another day in Magic Kingdom on December 1st. And then the second was Epcot. The third and fourth were Hollywood Studios of December. And then December 5th and 6th were Animal Kingdom. And then the 7th was pack up all your things, head home.
Yeah.
So, which I feel like was not long enough. And of course, I say that sarcastically of like, there's never enough time in Disney. But,
there was still things that we potentially wanted to do that we just didn't have time for. If you're one of the people who want to experience it all, give yourself a couple weeks.
and I'm going to just stop you right there. You will not experience it all. You just won't. There's just no way.
Not in one trip, anyway.
Not in one trip, no. And on the topic of that, we purchased Park Hopper and didn't use it. And
Yeah.
I think that was a really big no-no, simply because we were first-timers and we went under the impression of like, let's see all the things, do all the things, taste all the things.
Park hopper, I don't think would be necessary if you were like scheduling out.
Well, that and a first-timer. So like, if you don't know what you're doing, us, and you're just going in completely blind, never been to Disney before, and just kind of want to like soak in the experience, don't get Park Hopper. And what Park Hopper is that you start in one park and you have to be there until 2:00 in the afternoon, and then if you so choose, you can move to a different park. Yeah. So let's say you start your morning in like Magic Kingdom, and then at 2:00 you're like, I'm getting kind of Magic Kingdom out. You could hop over to Hollywood Studios. Yeah. If you've been to Disney multiple times, I say Park Hopper is a good investment, because you could like do all your favorite things in Magic Kingdom and then like transition to a different park.
Exactly.
But then there's us who've never experienced anything Disney World and didn't have any like pre-opinions or whatever. There was just no time to do Park Hopper. So there's just so much of Disney to offer, you're not going to get through it all. You're just not going to. So don't go in with that expectation of like, well, I'm going to ride all the rides and I'm going to taste all the food and I'm going to do all the great, because you're not.
Yeah.
You're just not going to.
And just like Alpha said, it's like experiencing a country in Europe, one needs a month or longer. Exactly. And
Amen
it's
to that.
it's same with like states and whatnot. It feels like you can get isolated into one spot if you're not careful and you don't have enough time. So definitely try to.
Heck, our honeymoon was 3.5 weeks
Yeah,
long, and it still felt like a blink of an eye.
Yeah, and like honestly, the more time you give yourself, the better, in my opinion. To me, park hopper makes most sense at Disneyland since it's all closer together. Exactly. Now, granted, that's one thing I do like about how Disney has everything set up, except for, unfortunately, Animal Kingdom because of how separate it is. Most of the parks, you can just ride, like, monorail or the Skyliner from park to park. So it does make park hopping somewhat easy. You don't have to necessarily worry about your car, or if you're at like one of the resorts, you can just hop from the resort to whatever. But Animal Kingdom unfortunately does have that somewhat separation. Part of that's because there's animals there. It is a zoo. It is an accredited zoo. So they have to have like certain regulations and things like that, which probably limits what they can do in that regard. We did park hop a few times. I think we did Animal Kingdom and went back to some other things at Hollywood because there are only a few things there. Yeah. That is one of the limitations, unfortunately, like a really unfortunate one of Animal Kingdom is the amount of rides, in my opinion. I'm a ride person. I
did it for the animals.
We did it for the animals.
I did it for the animals.
So we like going through, it's a gorgeous park, and it's definitely one of those zen parks. If you want to do multiple days in Animal Kingdom, my recommendation is split them up. Don't do them back to back. It's definitely one of those zen parks where you can go and it's a little bit calmer, so to speak. And I put that in air quotes. It's Disney. It's going to be packed, but it's more calm than say Hollywood Studios.
Totally different aura to Animal Kingdom than any other of the parks. And I think, like you said, it's because it's not ride-based. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still, like, Pandora's Flight of Passage with the Avatar. There's
Everest.
Still Expedition Everest. That's all, like, Yeti themed. So there's that. But, I mean, macaws. That's just free flight, and just at random, you could be licking your Dole Whip or whatever, and this macaw will just fly over your head, wings outstretched, just stunning, so beautiful, so beautiful.
If it was me, we'd spend all day at the Tower of Terror. Yeah, in fact, I can see that.
You were so scared.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But, that is why they wanted Hollywood. Oh yeah, like Tower of Terror is pretty cool. We'll get to that. I kind of want
on effects comment Dole Whip. It's delicious. It is worth the hype. By the way,
to me, it depends on what you get. I'm sure. Yeah, it depends on what you get. So for me, I'm not a strictly pineapple type of guy. So the plain Dole Whip was kind of a little bit meh for me, but when it had like added syrups and things like that, so like a little bit of raspberry or whatnot, I can't remember what it was that we got. It was that Aloha Isle or something like that.
Yeah, you got like the raspberry pineapple swirl.
That's the one, and that one was really, really good. I really liked that.
That one was so good. He let me have a bite of it, and it was delicious. We got Dole Whip, well, I did anyway, on 2 separate occasions. The first one was in Magic Kingdom, and it was like this passion fruit, orange, guava, mango-y, tropical juice syrup thing with the Dole Whip, and oh my gosh, it was amazing. And they put in this like little cake topper, like this red velvet cake topper, or cake pop, there we go, cake pop topper, there we go, that's the word I'm looking for, on the top, and it was so good. But then in Animal Kingdom, I got something called Scar's Lair, which is Dole Whip and green apple. It doesn't go well together.
They don't mix.
No. So I have to agree with you, Finn, on that. It really depends on what you mix it with. So if you get pineapple and green apple, if you get pineapple and pog, It's delicious.
What's Dole Whip? So imagine a pineapple frozen yogurt. It's about that consistency. It's a little bit creamier than that, though. It's got a little bit more cream to it than like a straight up frozen yogurt. And imagine
it's like sorbet, but like, okay, imagine sorbet and frozen yogurt had a baby and named it pineapple. Yeah. And that's Dole Whip.
Pineapple, orange, guava, literally in the name. Exactly.
So that's the best description that I can give you of Dole Whip.
Now, Dole Whip in of itself is pretty much just a pineapple flavored frozen yogurt sorbet is pretty much what it is. But I think it's, for me anyway, it's when you add those mix-ins where it really, makes good.
So if you're a big pineapple person, have it straight up. But if you're not, like me, mix it in with something.
Yeah, exactly. Stop making me hungry. It's 2 a.m. Sorry.
Something else really random that I want to talk about is weather in Florida around that time. Picture it, okay? We're the first week of December, okay? And we live in Oregon, spoiler alert, where it's like 30s, 40s.
Yeah, right now.
Cloudy, like
42.
15 hours of the day.
Yeah.
Rain, and just downright burr. We go to Florida where we experience 80s, sunny, and just downright beautiful. It was gorgeous. It was like absolute perfect weather. I think
we got very, very lucky.
There was only one day where it was cloudy, and it was one of our Animal Kingdom days. But it didn't even rain. It was just cloudy.
It was still one of our warmest days, though.
Yeah.
It got up to about 80, 82.
The humidity actually wasn't as bad as I was expecting either, because I've heard horror stories about Florida humidity.
If you are from a place that is incredibly dry, and then you've never experienced humidity in your life, it would probably hit you pretty hard. But if you've at least experienced, a decent amount of humidity at any point in your life, you'll be fine.
It was fine.
Yeah. Welcome to the
I've experienced humid, and that was Nashville, Tennessee, August of this year. Ew. Humidity was like 90.
And it was like 85 degrees out.
It was gross. But Florida in December, you're fine.
We planned our shows for rain times, super hot while we were there too. Yeah, and that's pretty smart to do. There's a lot of indoor things to do at Disney. Like it's not necessarily a ton of outdoor. There's some outdoor, don't get me wrong, but it's not like your entire day is going to be wrecked if a little bit of rain comes through. So Disney is very, very good about like making sure there's plenty of experiences for all types of weather. So you should be able to find something that you would want to do at any given point in time. I got to visit Tennessee, and wow, it killed me at like 3 a.m. too. I was dying.
So humid in Tennessee. But anyway, enough talk about Tennessee. That's another day. So Magic Kingdom. And then I need to remind myself what's in Magic
Kingdom. You pull that up. I actually want to talk a couple things really quick about Animal Kingdom, since we were on that topic not that long ago. We had the opportunity. Animal Kingdom has a lot of shows, not a ton of rides, but a lot of shows. If you're not a Pandora fan, there's not much to do ride-wise or things like that. I'm not huge on Pandora. I wanted to give it a shot.
And just to clarify, we're not talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender. We're talking about the blue people.
Yeah. So
really like 10-foot tall, rides on a little falcon thing.
Banshee.
Whatever.
Point exactly.
Those Avatar people, okay?
Yeah, so
back to the story.
Yes. So there's two main rides there that we had the opportunity to go on. It was Flight of Passage, and it was Na'vi River Journey, I think is what they're called. And yeah. So Flight of Passage, it's a motion simulator. It's a flying motion simulator. In my opinion, if you're not a big Avatar fan and you have glasses, don't go. It's not worth it. I had the glasses I put on didn't really sit right on me anyway because
it's a 3D
it's glasses.
Ride, so they give you 3D glasses.
Yeah. I actually got injured on the ride, and it's just a motion simulator. You'd have better luck.
You can't just say you got injured and then not explain.
I'll explain it in a minute.
Okay.
And you'd have better luck at Epcot's Soaring is pretty much what, in my opinion, what you would do. If you're a big Avatar fan, you'd probably enjoy it a lot more than I did. How I got injured, essentially they have this little back panel that kind of helps secure you in place before the motion simulator starts and everything like that. But what they don't tell you is that back panel doesn't like come up like this. It just slams up really fast.
It forward very quickly.
And it actually hit my back in such a way. This was one of the last things we did of the day. It hit my back in such a way that it tweaked out my back for the rest of the night. So I basically had massive back pain for the rest of the day.
So if you have like back surgery history or just chronic back pain or whatever, I don't recommend it. Because just to kind of give you like, picture it with me.
It's like a motorcycle.
It's basically like a motorcycle-ish. You have these little like bars that sit up here, and then you have you have to scooch all the way forward.
Your knees are on like pads, I think.
Yeah, you have knee pads, you have like securing around your feet, you have like side secure around your waist and hips, and then like Finn was talking about, you have that back pad that just slams up and hits you in your lower back. So you were like fully secure in this thing.
Well, it's because they like lift you up.
You can't move much. Yeah. So, but yeah, basically the thing like lifts you up, and if you're scared of heights,
also probably not one.
Not a good idea. But basically they simulate you riding on a banshee, those little dinosaur like things in Avatar. And so they make you feel like you're on the back of one, and you're just kind of going up and down and twist and turn and everything through the Navi Valley or wherever it is they live. You do get wet during the ride, by the way.
Not soaking, it's just a little mist.
Like drenched or whatever. But there is a point where you go through like a waterfall, and so a little like pew pew of water like splashes you in the face. But that's it. So on a really hot day, it probably feels pretty good. So it was okay. Yeah. I mean, once again, if you're like a big, oh my gosh, I love Avatar, then you would probably really enjoy it. But me, I was just like, okay, that's cool.
And it's kind of the same thing for Navi River Journey. You go in a boat and it's
dinosaur things.
Yeah, exactly. You get in a boat and it's pretty much Small World. It's Small World with Avatar.
Okay. Once again, sometimes you need to take pleasure in the rides where you just sit there and don't do anything, because you're not on your feet for a couple minutes, which feels like heaven, and those rides have a lot of scenery, graphics, like just amazing artistic detail that goes into it.
I will admit, like some of the stuff on
like the Navi River Journey ride has what's the word I'm looking for? It's one of the characters from Avatar.
It's an animatronic.
But it's an animatronic person, and they're like trying to cast this like little spell thing
or something,
or they're moving their hands or whatever, but it looks so lifelike because of how detailed it is. And so like you're on this quite literal like river boat thing, and there's water and like all the trees and the flowers.
The glowing jellyfish things.
Yeah, they kind of look like jellyfish. Things. And it's really pretty and breathtaking. So if you're looking for like thrill and adventure and roller coaster, that's not the ride for you. But if you're in it for like to just sit back and appreciate all the, like, artistic scenery, then yes, it would be a great ride. It was very beautiful to just sit back and be like, wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's
like, it just fascinates me how much stuff goes into one ride.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. There, a lot of the rides that we rode, there was and this is not like any of the criticisms
for the people in the back.
Any of the criticisms we have are not to the people who designed the rides. You can tell at every single ride in Disney World, every single one that we went on, you can tell there was effort put into it. And an immense amount of effort put into it. It's not just a track, it's not just, the scenery or anything like that, but somehow, every single ride, there is that thread of creativity that you can see in every single one.
Creativity, that's the way I would look
Yeah,
at
there is a thread of creativity in every single ride that is in Disney World, which is absolutely amazing. Effort and a fat paycheck, yes.
I mean, heck.
Planet Coaster, exactly.
It's a small world. I mean, it's such a cliche ride, but a lot of stuff.
A lot of history.
A lot of history goes into that ride. Like,
we got stuck on Small World. Stuck.
But it came to a standstill for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call that stuck.
Yeah, it happened to us on Haunted Mansion as well.
Yeah. But anyway, once again, it is one of those rides where you just sit and you don't go anywhere. And you just literally mosey on down a river, just la-di-da. And I know some people might be like, you do hear the song, It's a Small World, on continuous loop the entire time during the ride. Are you done?
It's a small world after all.
Anyway, so... But
oh no! Our boat! It's broken!
Anyway, but what fascinates me is that it's the same lyrics repeated over and over and over again to the point where you get stuck in your head, but it's in multiple languages. Like, how cool is that you could be from anywhere, really, all over the world, and you can go to Disney World and you can find a piece of that ride that reminds you of home. Like, that's something that's really cool about It's a Small World, is that, it's like, what, a 10-minute ride or something like that?
Well, it was 10 minutes for us. I'm sure
7 to 10 minutes.
It's like 7 minutes or something like that.
And so it drags on, because you go super duper slow, and so it drags on forever. But take a moment to just look up, left, right, everywhere, and there's just so much intense detail to this ride. It's insane. And like the little porcelain dolls doing the little can, and then like the Chinese dolls doing their little Chinese thing, and like you get what I mean though. Like there's a China portion, and there's like a Germany section, and there's an American section, and like I think the whole point of the ride is, we live in this ginormous world and with like 7 billion people, but it's all one world and we're all one people. So, things like that. So like, some person might be like, oh my gosh, this is a yawn fest, this is the most boring ride ever. But take a look around you during those rides is the biggest takeaway that I have for that.
And I think, in general, the biggest takeaway that I have is, appreciate the things that you normally wouldn't do. Like, obviously, I probably wouldn't go to Disney necessarily for Animal Kingdom specifically.
I would.
Yeah, but you see, it's one of those things where it's like, you know what? I'm going to go in and I'm going to appreciate Animal Kingdom for Animal Kingdom. And those 2 days were right up there, in the top for some of my favorite days. Like, I really enjoyed, there's this show called Feathered Friends in Flight.
Oh my gosh.
absolutely love that one. They'd send these like giant rare birds, or they just send them over your head. They're just like, here you go.
Owls. There's
Cranes. There's obviously the macaws. So
such trained birds, like a chicken that knows how to like press the keyboard.
It presses buttons and stuff.
Change the music. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. But
like something like that, or for instance, you are not a Star Wars person.
But Rise of the Resistance, man. Oh my gosh. If you haven't been, go right now. Book your tickets tonight and get on the plane tomorrow. Like, oh my gosh.
And she does not like Star Wars.
I hate Star Wars. And that was one of the coolest parts of the entire trip.
So the thread between the two of us is just like, here are things that we normally wouldn't do on our own. We wouldn't, go and do it. But here we are. We're just like, we're going to try them anyway, and we liked them. And, I think that, that's something you need to do if you go to Disney.
Step out of your comfort zone.
Step out of your comfort zone. I fully agree with that. Step out of your comfort zone. So.
But something else, once again, another ADHD random thought. You should keep a tally on these, by the way.
Ding.
So I'm gonna say something incredibly controversial.
Careful.
It's okay to sleep in when you're in Disney.
I fully agree with that statement.
What did I just say?
You do not have to rope drop. So
if you are tired, sleep. It is okay to rest.
There were several days, especially towards the end of our trip, that we decided we're not going to rope drop. We're not.
We
so
didn't
rope
even
drop.
get to parks until like noon some days, and that's okay.
Yeah, rope drop essentially, for those of you who don't know what it is. Rope drop is essentially to be there before they open, so you can be one of the first people to be in the park. We only did that one day, and that was Animal Kingdom, and it was just hordes upon hordes of people. It is not worth trying to go through the crowds just to get on a ride ahead of everybody else.
Nope. I don't care how popular the ride is, just don't do it.
It is not worth it. The best thing that you can do... How's it going, Moises, by the way?
Rest? Never.
I know. The best possible way of going about it is to kind of time waking up when rope drop happens. So, like, for instance, let's say, a park opens at 10 o'clock. Wake up right around 10 o'clock. That's probably going to be just fine for you. You'll wake up, you'll feel refreshed, you'll be able to get things ready to go. Traffic's not going to be as bad getting in to park if you're parking, or getting onto the transport to get like to the monorail or the Skyliner or anything like that. It's not going to be as crowded in that regard. And you'll be able to sort of actually get a feel for how long different lines are. So don't feel like you have to be there right as they open. If you have a short trip, that might make more sense. But if you have a little bit of that extra time, if you have 2 days per park, so about that week-long trip, it is okay to sleep in, and you're not going to miss out on much.
Especially, oh my gosh, okay. Because like I said, our very first night, we did Merriest After Hours, which meant the park closed at 1. We didn't get...
1 in the morning.
Yeah, 1 a.m., not p.m., 1 a.m. And that doesn't necessarily mean we got to our hotel at 1 a.m. So by the time the park closed, we got out of the park, on the monorail, to our car, to the hotel, and just crashed.
It was about 2:30 in the morning.
It was like 2:30 in the morning. Magic Kingdom opened at 8 o'clock. So what makes you think that we were going to go to bed, be fully rested on 5 hours of sleep,
or less,
to rope drop the next day? When, might I add, we are in Pacific time. That's what we are used to.
So it was 3 hour difference.
Currently 10:59.
So it's 11 o'clock
right now. And we had to time travel 3 hours ahead. So 1 a.m. at Florida time was like 11 our time. So it like messed up our inner time clocks and everything.
Yeah, I was the exact opposite when I visited Finn. Yes, I do remember that, Toby, and we experienced that on the way home.
Yeah, and so like Toby mentioned, he came from Eastern time into Pacific time when he visited us that one week in May. And of course, we're just like, so you ready to do this, that, and everything? And poor Toby is just like,
out like a light.
I just kind of want to go to sleep if you don't mind.
And you know what? We were
So,
the same way when we went.
Sleep is okay. You can rest in Disney. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, sleep is for the weak. Shut your face.
No, so...
You can go take a nap if you need to take a nap. I took a nap in Hollywood Studios, and I don't feel any shame for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't feel shame for it at all.
I legit pulled up a chair.
No, it wasn't a chair. It wasn't a chair.
It was a bench, wasn't it?
No, she slept on a random crate in Galaxy's
Oh,
Edge.
yeah.
She was it was right outside of Savi's workshop.
Oh, yeah,
I remember that. It was right before we made the lightsaber.
And we just sat for an hour. And I took a nap in Hollywood Studios because I was tired. And that's okay.
Yeah. 7 hours in Charlotte, would you expect? Yeah, true. You had a long layover. 8-hour jet lag. Oof. But yeah, I mean, it is possible to sleep in Disney. You have
if you're tired enough,
if
which
you
will be.
If you are tired enough, it is very possible to sleep. But give yourself that extra time. How the heck did you sleep there? It's just the exhaustion. So Disney exhaustion is a real thing.
It is real. It is very real.
It's a mix between pure joy and burnout. It is the weirdest combination you might ever experience. It's the desire to want to continue to do pretty much everything that you want to do. Because Disney, but no energy to do so. It is the point where your adrenaline is still coursing through your veins, but your pure exhaustion has just taken over your body. Mm-hmm. So you still have adrenaline, it's still going, but you still have exhaustion. Yep. If you're tired enough, anything is possible. Exactly.
Amen to that. Well, that, and I'm just one of those very fortunate people that has this very special gift. I can fall asleep anywhere. And I'm not joking. I could, if you told me to go to that corner,
she could curl up.
I could curl up and go to sleep. Yeah. Probably not easily, but I can go to sleep. I can sleep on a plane. I can sleep. I'm one of those people that, I hit the pillow and I'm asleep within, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Max. I can sleep in Hollywood Studios. I can sleep anywhere.
Moises says, I think I walked around 15 miles during the 3 days I was at Disney. I can guarantee you we did more than that.
Oh, yeah.
Granted, you were only there for 3 days and you were in Disneyland. So, that would equate to about what we did over the course of the 4 parks. I think you weren't here when we initially said it. We did 30,000 steps on one day. And we did a little bit of math. If you guys want to figure it out, you can type it on a calculator if you want. But it's approximately 1,760 steps per mile is approximately what we estimated to be our stride.
And for you non-US people, I'm not converting that into kilometers.
Mm-mm. You have to convert it to miles first, and then you can convert it to kilometers from miles. So, it was a workout. Yes, it is. A strong desire to go to Radiator Springs in Disney. Make sure it's Disneyland, not Disney World. Radiator Springs is only Disneyland.
Which, that's something else that I kind of wish we did, was I wished we stayed on site. Because we technically, our hotel was off-site, so it was like a 10 to 12-ish minute one way.
Yeah.
From our hotel to Disney.
Which isn't horrible once we figured out where we were
bad.
going. Yeah.
Like, we only filled up the gas tank in our rental car once.
It was only at half a tank.
Yeah, because of how close everything is. But still, like, there's certain perks that you get when you're on site. Like, you have access to, like, lightning lane, which we'll get.
And you get an earlier rope drop too.
Yeah.
You can get into the parks earlier.
So,
which is nice.
Which is nice, and I wish we could have had that, but we didn't. So that was a little bit of a bummer. I was gonna say something else. I can't remember what it was.
Lightning lane. You were talking about lightning lane.
I can't remember.
It'll come back to you.
Maybe. But yeah, so not Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom, yes. We're finally going back. I'd say let's just cover the remaining stories we want to get to, and then save the rest of it for the individual episodes. So.
Well.
Because when we get into the episodes, we'll actually be like ranking things, and we'll actually be like giving our personal opinions on them. This is just sort of getting out stories.
Why don't I grab it's harder to load it on the app.
So you're gonna get the map?
The paper maps. So I will be right back.
While you're doing that, do you want to get the droids to show off?
Only if you come with me, because I would have to carry them both.
Oh,
remember?
True. Go ahead and get the map in yours, and then when you come back, I'll get mine.
Okay, fine.
Okay. That way there's somebody here.
To supervise the children.
Yeah, to supervise the children. I'm the one who sleeps on the tables. Hey, there you go. Finn makes a weird face. Yeah, I always make a weird face. Let's be honest. Droid babies. Yes, we got droid BBs. And one of them's BB. The other one's an R2. So we will... they do have names. They do have names. I asked to make a weird face. Oh. And there's your weird face. Hey, I can supervise. That is very, very true. Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah, you're turning that off. Okay. That's fine. Time for Hydra to go to bed. I'm responsible, yes. I'm sure.
Wait, who's responsible?
Oh, don't ask.
Oh. Yeah, that's probably accurate.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you go ahead and keep talking about that. I'll go out and get the droids.
I collected.
No, you can talk.
Oh, okay.
I'm just getting the droids.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Okay. I'm stealing his chair.
I heard that.
But anyway, so I collected all the maps. So here's Magic Kingdom, the After Hours, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. So first things first, Magic Kingdom. We're gonna open that up here, and I'm gonna go through the rides that we did and tell you which ones I thought were really, really cool. So first things first, in Magic Kingdom, we did Jungle Cruise, which I'm also going to say something really controversial. It's not worth it.
No, it's not. May I come in? Or do you have a train of thought to finish?
I technically have a train of thought, but you can come in.
Go ahead and finish the train of thought, and then I'll come in with...
No, it's going to be a while. You can come in.
Okay. Everyone, we want to introduce you to our first BB. BB 15.
It's my BB.
It is your BB.
I made a baby. Not like that, but do we
BB
dare
15.
turn it on or?
I mean, I'd have to disassemble it to get inside and turn it on.
Purple BB. Yes, it's a BB. And it has this little.
It's a magnetic head.
Woo!
You could have actually broken the computer with that.
I decapitated my BB.
There we go.
My bad. There we go. I didn't know how to sip. Yeah. Congrats, child. You have a sister. A robot sister. But yes, we will talk about Droid Depot and all things Star Wars in a moment. But this is BB-8. This is why they can't have kids. Yeah, we would break them. Anyway. As I was saying, so Jungle Cruise, first things first, is a movie. I know that much, with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in it. Haven't seen it, but I've heard that it's apparently a really popular movie, so much so that they made a ride out of it.
No, the ride was before the movie.
Oh, it was? Oh,
yeah.
Never mind. See? That just shows you how little I know.
And, really quickly, R2PH.
Ta-da!
R2PH. Channel
PH
colors
for
and everything.
Finn.
Yeah. Let's see here.
So I made one of each. But anyway, Jungle Cruise is basically, well, like it sounds. You get on this little river boat and you see all these like animatronic animals, and while your little boat tour guide person basically tells you dad jokes. That didn't
Is
sound good.
that so? Is that so? Okay. Are you done?
Watch your mouth, PH.
Yeah, I was gonna say you are you done? Are you done now? Okay, whatever. R2PH, everybody.
As I was saying, for like the 30th time, Jungle Cruise is not worth it because we stood in line for like 2 hours. 2 hours on your feet in a line that refused to move.
It was a very cramped line.
And it was incredibly cramped. You had maybe, like 5 inches between you and the person in front of you because
That's generous. That's generous.
Because they wanted to, like, jam-pack everybody as close as possible. And then we finally got on the ride, and I'm just like, so this is it? That was the ride? Because, what? But like I said, you get on this little, like, boat ride and listen to some guy tell dad jokes for, like, 15 minutes. And that's basically it.
That's basically it. And it's another one of those rides where you sit and you look at the scenery and there's the animatronics and things like that. It's not a dark ride, it's outside. But it was just kind of like, it's fun, but it's not the best. Like,
because COVID doesn't exist.
Yeah, best part of the ride is the 8th wonder of the world. Backside of water. Backside of water was the best.
The what?
The backside of water. You don't remember that part? We went behind the waterfall and he's like, the one, the only, the backside of water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking
Backside
about?
of water. Best part of the ride.
Okay. Yeah, but we're not going to get political here, but on that topic, don't ask. For those that may be planning a trip right now to go to Disney, to my knowledge, Florida doesn't have an outdoor mask mandate. So if you're outside, you can take your mask off, no problem. But as soon as you get inside, you have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense whatsoever.
You're just as packed outside as you are
because you're
inside.
just as packed inside, outside, no matter where you are. But that's all we'll say on the matter. I don't want to get into the whole mask versus no mask political debate.
Definitely, prepare yourself ahead of time however you feel like you need to prepare yourself in that regard. Yeah, Florida doesn't have an outside mask mandate. Coughs. Yeah. Well, that's what you did, is you coughed right after you said that.
I have an incredibly dry throat right now. I need something to
She
drink.
did take a COVID test. It's not COVID. Like, we got confirmed it was a negative result.
I have a dry throat right now, dear. I need something to drink. Not do.
It's flat, but okay. Let me find something for you.
Ooh, you could get me some Capri Suns.
Ooh, that's a good idea. 2 Capri Suns coming up.
Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, something else that I've heard really great things about was Pirates of the Caribbean. That is unfortunately one ride we didn't get to, so we don't have an opinion on that. Because at the time that I checked to see like what the wait time was, it says temporarily unavailable. And then by the time that we actually got around to it, like, we just didn't have time for it. So we didn't get to do Pirates of the Caribbean, so boo.
Your juice box, madame.
Oh, thank you. And a second one for me too?
This for me.
Oh. Anyway.
It's for you.
No, it's... what else did we do? We did Splash Mountain because it's Splash Mountain.
Which is a lot of fun. It's
by the way, it depends on where you sit, on how wet you'll get on Splash Mountain.
We got front row.
Well, even then, though, I was expecting to get, like, full-on drenched and, like, soaked from head to toe. If, at best, it was, like, a very light damp.
I got the worst of it.
But because... it feels great, though. Because, once again, it was, like, 80 degrees in Florida in December. Which, on that topic, if you're a brave soul, which I am not, Splash Mountain will have the shortest line first thing in the morning and last thing at night. And the reason being is because
you get wet.
Nobody wants to get wet in the freezing cold. Freezing. Like, the lowest it got, I think, was 50.
Our first night was the coldest night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember...
And even then, it didn't even feel that cold.
I remember I waited to get to Splash Mountain for 30 minutes. I had to do maintenance, but the moment they opened it up, I ran to it. Yeah. And honestly, a lot of rides, you'll notice, do go down. But they do a very good job of coming back up within a reasonable amount of time.
Disney's repair crew is like...
Well, while we were there, granted we were in a different park, but while we were there, Rock and Roller Coaster in Hollywood Studios caught fire.
I remember that.
And we were able to ride it 2 days later. Just fine.
So put that picture in your mind.
Yeah. let that be something. Just know I was in the front row. Yes. I was front row right side is what I was, and I got the worst of it.
We also did Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Amazing. By the way.
A Disney ride on fire. How? The castle caught on fire the other day. Anyway.
Remind me. Refresh my memory. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Wasn't that in the dark?
No. Big
or am
Thunder...
I thinking of a different ride?
The one that was completely in the dark was Space Mountain. We did Space Mountain. There was like the stars. It's the roller coaster. It's in here.
No, there was another roller coaster that was completely in the dark. It was. I think that might have been Hollywood Studios, though.
I'm trying to remember. I'm like going through all the rides in my head.
I know.
Oh yeah, that was Rock and Roller Coaster.
That
was Rock and Roller Coaster. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was completely in the dark, like very little lights whatsoever.
The Island of Magic or Pyromaniacs.
But Space Mountain is really cool because it. Would you say it's like Buzz Lightyear based?
No, Space Mountain.
Or no.
Space Mountain, I think... I know on here it says Tron. That's probably the closest I would say.
Oh, okay.
Is probably Tron.
But you're in this, like, little roller coaster, and there's this... Spoiler alert. There's this one portion where you're, like... How do I even describe it? It's like you're being, like, beamed into the galaxy.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
For those of you who are roller coaster aficionados, it's a Wild Mouse roller coaster.
Okay.
It's indoors, very sharp turns, very quick turns, short tracks. Everything's sort of condensed together, and so you're doing a lot of moving around in a very small amount of space. It's a lot of fun. Just know you will be whipped around quite a bit. So.
And then we did Haunted Mansion because Haunted Mansion, and coming from somebody that does not spook or scare it's not that scary. It's if anything, it's just special effects to make it look like there are ghosts in the room.
It's a lot of fun, don't get me wrong.
And makes it look like, they're eating at the dinner table and they're spooking you in the mirror and things like that. But because I had to ask the lady, the cast member, before we went on the ride, I was just just so we're clear, there's no clowns on this ride, right? And she's like, no. I mean, there's a couple ghosts and, things like that, but there's no clowns. I was like, good, because I will pass out if there's clowns. And she's like, well, we don't need that. And she quite literally told me that.
Yeah. Moises says, Haunted Mansion during Halloween was more magical. I'm sure it is. That actually makes a lot of sense. Don't Ask says, I've been on those types, and I thought the ride was going to break every time. I was like, this is the end. So imagine that, but dark.
And then we did, what else did we do? We did It's a Small World, which we talked about earlier. We did Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid.
We did Barnstormer.
We did the Mad Tea Party because...
Teacups. It's the teacup ride.
It's the teacups. I mean, it's tradition. Duh. But
and teacups you can save to, if you're not doing a big ride and you've done all the big rides, you can save it to whatever time. You can stick it into whatever time you want. It's no more than a 10-minute wait.
10-minute wait tops.
Yeah. Oh, we practically walked on. We waited for one ride cycle, I think was all. Yeah.
We also did the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, that was the very first ride. The very first, actual, non-dining thing that we did in Disney. And because we did it in merriest after hours, we walked on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, normally, during the day, because Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is such a cool, popular ride, it is seriously a great roller coaster, by the way. It has, 60, 70, 80-minute wait during the day.
Yeah.
And we just walked on.
Yeah.
Just, here you go. Have a nice ride. Bye.
Did you go on Tower of Terror? My dad made me go on it. I literally cried. We will get to Tower of Terror in Hollywood Studios in a little bit. But yes, we did.
And I loved it.
We will get to that in a little bit. We're still in Magic Kingdom.
And then we did... Oh, you get to talk about Tomorrowland? Yeah, Tomorrowland Speedway.
Oh, Tomorrowland Speedway. So, Tomorrowland Speedway is interesting, for those of you who haven't been on. Because the way that it is a car on a track, but you do have to steer, which is really, really, really weird. And what's even worse is that the car that we got into didn't have a steering wheel that, lined itself up right, and so, it was really weird. I couldn't get a good feel on the steering. And so our car was constantly hitting the track. It was constantly hitting the little track in the middle. That keeps you on that little straight line.
And if you're a tall person, which thankfully we are not,
even for me.
Yeah, even for us short people, we didn't have much leg room.
I was driving like this for most of it,
So,
and especially since we had to have our bags down below, I was driving with my knee halfway to my chest like this, and it was really, really difficult to kind of get everything the way I needed to. But I mean, it's still Finn is tall. I'm only 5'8.5". I say that, not because 5'8" feels short. 5'9" starts to get to the tall side of things. I'm right in between. So I am definitely the definition of an average Joe.
I mean, if you want, here, stand up.
Okay.
We'll back up a little bit.
Oh, back up more.
So that way they can see us.
There you go.
So I am short.
Yeah.
I am 5 feet tall, 60 inches. However, many kilometers.
And then I'm 5'8". Obviously, the top of my head's cut off by the frame right now, but
the ears make me look taller.
yeah.
But yeah,
So
I am really short.
that's kind of how we are lined up right now. But
Chuckles and 5'3".
I am very tall. You would probably struggle then, Paul. Actually, like driving the thing. I'm not saying that you couldn't. We definitely had people who were taller in line with us who were driving, and they did just fine. But just know it's gonna be a little bit of a cramp, and it doesn't control like a regular car. So it definitely feels a little bit weird. And they have to keep you on that track the whole way around.
And all the short jokes are coming in. I'm totally the Finnegan girl. I had a very short mother. Thank you very much. My mom, I think at one point was 5 feet tall, but then she shrunk to like 4'11 and a half or whatever. So my mom was incredibly short. And then my dad was like...
Didn't you say
I think it was your height.
Yeah, about 5'9", 5'10",
yeah,
something like that is what
like,
you said? Yeah.
No, he was like 5'7", 5'8", something like that.
Oh, okay, so he was short too.
Yeah. So, I mean, of course, to me, he was tall because I am short. But I did not have a very tall family. So, yeah, the height is not in the cards.
Cursed genetics. Anyway, so Tomorrowland, obviously, we did Space Mountain. We've talked about Space Mountain a bunch, and how much we really appreciated that. We didn't get to do too many other Tomorrowland things.
Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger Spin.
We did Space Ranger Spin, and it broke down right in front of the camera. So what's funny is we had Photo Pass through our Magic Bands, and so every time we were done with a ride, it would show up in our phone. We've got it actually saved on the computer somewhere.
Worth it.
Definitely worth it if you're going to do, if you know you're going to do a long trip or something like that. Definitely worth it. Buy it at least 3 days in advance because you save like $40 or something like that for the duration of your entire trip. Definitely highly worth it to do it that way. But we had it connected to our Magic Bands, and Space Ranger Spin broke down right in front of the camera. And so what's funny is while the ride was broken down, it was still flashing pictures. Like, it was still cycling through pictures. And so when we got off the ride, there was like 8 or 10 duplicate pictures that were in our photo pass.
Yeah.
That we had to like sort through and like delete. Some of them were empty cars, and some of them were just us and just doing various different poses and whatnot. It was great. It was funny.
Yeah. What else did we do? I'm looking. I think that's about it for Magic Kingdom.
We obviously did Be Our Guest. We did Aloha Isle. We did
What other
food?
Like shopping?
We did Pinocchio one day. I do not recommend the food at Pinocchio. It did not sit well with me.
Or me.
Yeah.
Which one did we do? It was Pinocchio's Village Haas.
Yeah.
Or whatever that says.
Village House. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Yeah.
It's like pizza, flatbread, kind of standard American food.
Quick service food.
Yeah.
Like, there are definitely better options for quick service in Magic Kingdom. And Pinocchio should be a last resort. It was not good food, did not sit well with us.
Main Street Bakery basically is Disneyland Starbucks.
And each park has its own Starbucks. Like,
yeah.
Main Street Bakery, yeah, it was just a Starbucks. But we got a 50th anniversary mug from it.
That we did.
We'll go over the things that we got in another episode, like more in detail. Obviously, we showed the droids and a couple of things.
Magic Kingdom, ta-da!
Yeah.
And then there's a brochure that's entirely all about after hours stuff, which as you see here, 9 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Yeah, it's pretty much just letting us know, here are the different things that you can do and things like that.
It's another park map.
Yeah.
But it's specific holiday stuff.
Yeah.
That we didn't do.
Yeah.
because we were so focused on the rides.
Well, I can tackle Epcot and Hollywood Studios, so you can do Animal Kingdom.
I mean, if you want,
Sure.
sure. BT Dubs. So I'm just gonna say something right now that you may or may not have known about me. I am a huge pressed penny collector, and if you're like, well, what on earth is a pressed penny? I know it's very big here in the U.S. I'm not so sure about other countries, but if you go to, say, like, a zoo or a theme park or some other, like, popular touristy attraction, there may be something called a penny machine. And typical standard penny machine, you take the two...
Toby.
Shut your face. But you put 2 quarters in. Let me have my moment, okay? But you put 2 quarters in and a penny, and then you push it in the machine, and after you choose the design that you... What is that?
It's an emoji. So it's the emojis that displayed on Twitch, they show up on the screen.
Oh.
So anytime someone does an emoji on Twitch, they'll show up here. If anybody's on Twitch, by the way, feel free to drop a few emojis to show Phinia Girl.
But anyway, and so you pick the design that you want to print, you push in the coins, and then you crank it, and then out comes this, like, stretched out pressed penny, and on the penny it has, like, some cool design, and, sometimes it might be, like, the name of the restaurant, or it might say, like, the name of the theme park, or,
We just came and gave you a kiss.
that's cool. But anyway, so I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these pennies. And to be specific, what is our final number?
Our final tally was 348.
Yeah, that's how many I collected on this trip.
Do you want to go grab those?
Not right now. Oh, I love you too. Oh, yay! All the stickers and stuff. But, so yeah. 300 plus pennies, and a bulk of them was in Epcot.
Yes.
And I think
We broke a record that day.
I think if you're a penny collector like me, don't get so focused on how many you collect, but just enjoy the moment.
Why does that make sense for Epcot?
And I think
You need
the
to show
reason
them
being
now.
is because, okay, so we got so focused on, like, let's see how many penny machines we can hit up while we're here in Epcot, that we forgot to enjoy the essence of Epcot.
Yeah.
That and Epcot is a lot of, like, eating and drinking
An experience.
alcohol.
A lot of experience things.
Around the world. And since Finn and I don't drink alcohol, we were like, oh, Epcot's gonna be so boring. No.
We still missed
out on a ton of stuff, and I regret it. I truly do regret only giving Epcot one day, because I feel like we didn't fully give it justice.
One of the things that we missed out on, which was a bummer at the time, but it gives us a reason to go back, is Club Cool, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But
what even is Epcot?
So, I think you should go grab the pennies and show them that.
Now
You have to at this point.
How many times am I gonna leave this stream and come back?
I left 3 times already. Is she gone? Okay, I'll steal the seat back. All right. So Epcot. Epcot is the experimental prototype community of tomorrow. So you might have seen Spaceship Earth there, is what it is. So, oh, she's coming back. No, I didn't take your seat. I don't know what you're talking about. Hi.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. But, Epcot.
Y'all know that this seat is reserved for the Queen. This is where you play the fanfare.
Proceeds to drop the pennies. Talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk. Alright, so before we show off all the pennies, Epcot is the experimental prototype community of tomorrow. That's what Epcot stands for, Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. Originally, Epcot was going to be an actual community. They were going to have basically Spaceship Earth at the center. It was going to be a giant hub where they did all the things, and then it kind of branched out in a circular fashion to the rest of the communities and things like that. Unfortunately, Walt Disney passed away before Epcot was like finished or in the way that it needed to be. So instead, they converted it to sort of a theme park type thing, where each spoke of the main circle was a world showcase. And so we entered in from the side. We didn't enter from the main gate, which, if you can swing it, go get a breakfast at the boardwalk, which is right next to Epcot, and then just walk in. That entrance is a lot less busy than the front entrance.
I always thought that was a golf ball. It kind of does look like one, doesn't it?
A lot of people call it the golf ball. Even cast members sometimes call it the golf ball, like to help people like understand where their orientation is. So we entered in by the United Kingdom and France is where we entered, and then there's like Morocco, and there's an American one. There's Germany, Norway, Mexico, Canada. They have a whole bunch of others. Japan, China.
Quite literally all over the world.
Yeah, all over the world. And each part has, little pieces of that part of the world, which I think is really, really cool. To give you guys a feel for what it looks like. Is that centered?
There you go.
There we go. Thank you. So that gives you a feel for what it's like. And there's this main lake right here, and then there's the World Celebration right at the front.
And Spaceship Earth is...
It's the golf ball right by your finger.
There.
Right there. Yep. That's Spaceship Earth.
Right there.
Yeah. So there was a lot of great things that we were able to accomplish during that day. A lot of it was penny pressing. We got super lucky that morning. And we got the virtual queue for Ratatouille. Brand new ride.
Which is amazing.
Brand new ride.
By the way. And I never even seen Ratatouille.
Yeah, which
I
needs
know.
to change.
Shocker.
Better be a golf course there. There's golf course off property, like on a different part of Disney property. There are golf courses, but just not in Epcot, unfortunately. But we got Ratatouille, so it was great ride. I really liked it.
It's a 4D experience, so in case you're like, well, I've heard of 3D, what's 4D? So imagine your 5 senses, so sight, smell, taste.
Mom, what?
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 What? What'd I do?
I don't know.
What did I do? I'm worried now.
We're all just sitting here like, what happened? Never seen Ratatouille. Never seen Ratatouille.
I know.
We're like...
You scared me. I thought something was seriously wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, believe it. I'd never seen Ratatouille, okay?
Hope you both are well and had fun on your vacation. Yes,
we
Danny.
had a wonderful time.
How's it going? Welcome to the live
But
show.
anyway, so it's one of those, once again, you get in a ride and you don't necessarily just sit and like stroll kind of rides. It's one of those, you get in a cart
and you are a character.
But then you like...
You are a character.
You are a character. And so it's from the perspective of Remy. And so... Like, there's this one, once again, spoilers.
Yeah, avoid, plug your ears if you don't want to hear spoilers for the Ratatouille ride.
Yeah. So, there's this, I know 2 specific parts of the ride. One of them, you go through an oven, basically, and you feel the heat of the oven. Like, there's this, like, furnace or something as part of the ride
and
that turns on.
You see fire go right over your head.
And you see fire, like, go above your head, and you feel the heat. And then there's another scene where they're cleaning up,
the
the floor with a mop, and then trying to like chase you with a mop. And so in the process, you get flicked with a couple droplets of water on your face. And so things like that. So you not only like see the experience and it's 3D, but you feel the experience. So
when do I unmute? All right, folks, anybody who's done with spoilers, you can unplug your ears. All right.
Sorry.
That's okay.
You should have known going into this stream it's going to be nothing but spoilers.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of rides that people already know about, so.
Oh.
That's just one of the I think that's one of like 2 rides that we would do that on, but. So we didn't get to do too many rides. I'm going through this right now. Most of it was, we went from penny machine to penny machine in the different parts of the showcase. And we got, I'd say, about 80% of the pennies from Epcot, which we will get to in a little bit. Not right now. But yes, we will show those off. I'm thinking, what kind of live stream is this? Snake, we are going over our Disney vacation.
Oh, hi, Snake. Which you're friends with me on Facebook, so you saw already all the different pictures.
So it was a lot of shopping and things like that at Epcot. We went to Test Track. Test Track was a lot of fun. Basically you design.
Oh yeah, I had to stop and think. I was like, what was Test Track?
You design your own car. At the beginning, you're given like. There we go.
Are we still?
Yeah,
audio?
The audio's here. Audio's here. Camera went burr. Camera went burr.
It's not a Finn stream without a problem.
Camera just went burr.
I look so. Ugh. Okay, so you can still hear us. You just can't see us. Right?
There we go.
Okay.
Camera just went burr. Sorry about that, folks.
Weird.
That happens all the time.
Anyway.
That happens all the time. But yeah, so you're given about 3 to 4 minutes to design a car on Test Track. And then they take all the information from what you do with the designing, and they, as you're riding the ride, they tell you how your car would do, which I think was really, really cool.
The ride goes upwards of like 50 miles an hour.
65.
Whatever.
So.
But it goes fast. Like, you're in an actual car, and what they do is, based off of how you built it, they test it in different scenarios. So, like...
Sorry. Blue Mew. Tell Blue Mew you're good. Tell Blue Mew they're good. Camera's still lagging. No, it should be good. Should be good now.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, you see it? Okay. All right.
Anyway, as I was saying, so you build, like, you can customize the wheels, the hood, the decal, like, all these things on this car, and then it gets put to the test on all these different scenarios. So, like, can it brake really quickly? Can it, like, survive a rainstorm? Can it, like, this, that, and whatever? And so it goes fast, but it also comes to a screeching halt really fast. And the car we're in, it fits a total of what, 4 or 5 people?
6 people.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 people. I had to think about that for a minute.
So you will be, if you're in a small party, you will be seated with other people.
Yeah, pretty much. Watch your camera real quick. It's making you travel back and forth 1 millisecond every millisecond. Well, I'm just swinging back and forth. That's all I'm doing. It could be your side. It looks fine on our end.
Okay.
If you drive up to the U.S.-Canada border, no. But it definitely feels like you're going pretty quick. It's like driving in a convertible with the top down on the freeway. So.
Yeah, that's a really good way to describe it.
Let's see here.
And of course, our photo pass clicked right as I blinked.
Yeah, and so she's like...
So here, there's this picture of my hair, like, flinging back, and I'm like...
Let's see here. Try refreshing, Snake. If you haven't. Try refreshing. Sometimes
Have you tried turning it off and back on again?
Alright, Soaring. We did Soaring around the world.
What is that?
That is very similar to the Avatar Flight of Passage ride, except this one, you're in sort of like this community, like, swing, for a lack of a better term.
Hang glider.
Hang glider. It's very much like a community hang glider. There's like 12 of you on a single hang glider, and there's like 9 in the room, and you're all brought up onto this giant screen, and it's basically...
Your feet do dangle.
Yeah, you're watching a
movie.
movie.
If you are afraid of heights, don't ride.
You're probably like 15, 20 feet in the air, something like that. It's a lot of fun, though. It's a lot of fun.
But basically, Soarin' takes you to, like, very popular world attractions, and you virtually hang glide through them.
Yeah.
So, like, imagine hang gliding over Statue of Liberty, the Eiffel Tower, the Great Wall of China, you know, things like that. And so, yeah, that's basically it. I thought I was going to say... I thought I was going to say more to that, but then my brain just, like, short-circuited. So, hang gliding around really popular tourist attractions of the world.
And it's really pretty. If you're less of an Avatar person, but you still want to have some sort of, like, flight simulator thing, that one's probably going to be more for you. If you really like the Avatar Blue people, then Flight of Passage would probably be better. So... we did Seas with Nemo and Friends, which is pretty much the Finding Nemo version of...
I love Nemo.
Of, like, a boat ride, that type of thing where you're just gently going through and whatnot on a little track. Definitely really, really cool. The last part of the ride actually has the aquarium behind it. So
like, there's an aquarium in the ride.
They project some stuff in, like, onto the glass of the aquarium, so it looks like you're looking at Nemo and everybody, but there's actual aquarium behind it. 1K! Hey, let's go! 1,000 hours! 1,000 hours for Don't Ask.
Really?
Yeah, Don't Ask.
Nice.
1,000 hours club on this stream. Congratulations.
Congrats, my child.
Let's see here. What else we got? We did not do Frozen. Thank goodness. We did Ratatouille.
We did not go on Frozen.
That's pretty much it.
But it's probably because we don't have children. Because isn't it like a sing-along thing?
There's Frozen Ever After in Epcot, which is an actual, like, slow ride and whatnot. That one, it had like a 95-minute wait while we were there at the lowest, and we're just like, no, we're good.
I don't even like Frozen all that much. Can I show off petting it now?
Yeah, so the main thing we did in Epcot was press pens.
Has weight to it.
In comparison, this weighs about as much as the hilt as my lightsaber does.
I think... Yeah, this weighs more than Hydra does. For sure. But, these are all the tokens that I got. And then there's pennies. On pennies.
And it's front and back, by the way.
On
front
pennies.
and back.
On pennies. On pennies. On pennies.
Front and back.
And that's just Epcot.
Yeah, so... It's Chuck E. Cheese vibes, yeah, for real. So,
here, I can even show you.
Yeah. While
random token.
While she's getting one out, the pennies, these books hold 128 pennies. In one day, we got right around 112-ish.
So the one that I picked is Aladdin Genie. I don't know if the camera will focus
50th
on it.
anniversary token.
Probably not, maybe.
It's probably a reflective surface.
Probably.
So.
But anyway, it's the genie from Aladdin. And then on the back it says, Walt Disney World's 50th.
Yeah. I wish I'd gotten all the pennies and stuff when I went years ago. It was my first time. I only got 2 or 3. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things, especially if you don't get them. When you do, they rotate about once a year. Like, we went and we were expecting, like, designs in certain locations. They had different ones, and it was just, like, a whole bunch of things had changed.
So, unlike the rest of the world, Disney changes out their pennies very frequently. So much so that, specifically, at the Avatar ride in Animal Kingdom, one of the days that we went, the penny machine was not working and was down for maintenance, aka they ran out of pennies. Because what happens is, unlike other penny machines in the world, Disney is much more modern, where you just swipe a card and you say, I'll take all 8 or 5 or 3 or whatever. And then they just spit out. You don't have to do the whole quarters, pennies, crank it.
But they are actual pennies. It's not like they're putting like blank tokens in that are just happen to be the size of the pennies. It's actual pennies that are dropping through and getting squashed. So.
But anyway, so the point being is that we got like most, if not all, of the pennies of Animal Kingdom, but that machine. And so it made me really sad. So I was like, why don't we come back the next day just to double check if it's back up and running? And it was.
Yeah, it was fine. So
Disney is like so on top of it, because if you were to go elsewhere with a penny machine can be like out of operation for like weeks, months, even years. Disney, they turn around in a day.
The cranking is the fun of it. Yeah, exactly.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. It's not the same just putting your card up to it and be like, yeah, I'll take all 8 designs. Pew, 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 pew. Done.
Now, don't get us wrong. There are a few that were the crank ones where you would have to line it up first. But those ones, you have to swipe your card for every single penny that you do. And that actually caused a problem for us with our bank. We'll just leave it at that. And we had to fight them on that.
But that was Epcot. And then Magic Kingdom, we didn't collect as many.
Yeah, Magic Kingdom, we were more focused on just making it through.
I don't even think there were any tokens in Magic Kingdom. There's no tokens.
There's no tokens.
But Magic Kingdom. And I think that's it. Yeah.
So not many in Magic Kingdom.
That's Magic Kingdom. And then this is Hollywood. This got some beef to it. Hollywood Studios, which has some tokens in it.
Hollywood Studios and
pennies.
Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom. I think we got all the pennies from.
Pennies. And last but not least, Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom, we know for sure we got
tokens. And pennies. And pennies.
Must fight the urge to save.
And pennies.
We'll
And you guessed it, more pennies. And more pennies. And oh look, there's more pennies.
We will finish this up here really quickly. We just got Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom to wrap up here, and then we will call it a stream, not to worry.
So yeah. I don't collect pennies, by the way.
Not at all. So Hollywood Studios was the first one that we actually did where we started to be a little bit more smart about how we did our like park trips and whatnot. We started to sort of space things out. We were a little bit more smart about what we pushed off till the next day and what we did on the first day and things like that. We were a lot more smart about how we organized our lightning lanes and things like that, which we still need to cover, but we'll do that.
We could do that a different day.
Yeah. But,
guys, I think she has pennies.
I think so, yeah.
You don't say.
Wow.
No, you gotta say it like Owen Wilson.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. So, anyway, we had the opportunity to go to Hollywood Studios, and there was a lot that we did. So day one, we wanted to focus, initially, we wanted 100% focus on Star Wars, because we thought that was going to take up the majority of our time. And we're like, you know what? We're going to just do Star Wars, and that's going to be it. That's all we're going to do. We're going to take it easy, and then we'll save everything else for the next day. We were smart and decided to add a little bit more to the Star Wars. So we did start in Star Wars, and we did Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run.
Which, by the way, if you haven't tried the blue milk, do it.
Blue milk is actually really, really good. The green milk's pretty good too.
Green milk is
Yeah, it's not the best, but it's still pretty good. But the blue milk is amazing. Blue milk is amazing. Highly recommend. But yeah, Millennium Falcon. We did that one first. We actually got the lightning lane for Millennium Falcon. I couldn't find the milk. It's very well hidden. If you have the opportunity to go back, there's a milk stand that's right across from the TIE Fighter. It's in that same plaza with the TIE Fighter. It's just right diagonal from it. And literally all they serve is the milk there. It's just blue milk, green milk, and then a souvenir cup that comes with blue milk.
or green milk.
Yeah.
You choose.
And it's not really milk. It's like there anyway. It's like a slushy, cream slushy type thing. It's blue raspberry or green apple, I think, is the different flavors. But,
Yeah.
but it's still really, really, really good.
I even liked it.
Yeah, saying a lot. So Millennium Falcon, a lot of fun. It's a motion simulator that acts like you are piloting the Falcon, is what it is.
Really cool.
Yeah, we were put in the engineer seats, I believe.
Maybe hand me my phone?
Yeah, we were placed in the engineer seats, which are the back two, and our job was to basically steal the cargo, I think is what it was. Is like we send out 2 ropes and we have to steal cargo or whatever. There were 2 people ahead of us who were piloting, and 2 people in the middle seats ahead of us that were gunners. So our job was to actually steal the cargo, which was pretty tricky because our pilots, they were doing a pretty good job, but towards the end they were like getting thrown around a lot, and so we didn't really get to line up very well. Huh?
I'm finding pictures.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, just give me a moment.
But it was a lot of fun. Finny Girl actually got pictures of like the little hollow chess table, which is really, really cool. And if we didn't have Lightning Lane, we could have sat in the chairs and everything and gotten a picture, which would have been like really, really awesome. But
So this is Smuggler's Run.
Yeah. So that's what it looks like from the cockpit. It's like really cool.
Yeah.
You
know, I've been thinking about you taking all of our pictures from our trip and like just making a slideshow video of it.
You're getting ahead of me, dear.
Oh. Sorry.
Spoilers. How's it going, racing fan? Welcome back to the live
For
stream.
those of you who aren't Facebook friends with me. Losers.
Hey now. Anyway, so we did that, and then...
And just for the record, Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah, that's the amount of steps that...
That's my Fitbit after Epcot.
That's the amount of steps that we did. So, send them to me and I'll do it. I have experience.
Oh, I'll message you after stream.
I can't relate. I know, right? So, let's see here. We did Millennium Falcon, but then after that, we didn't really have too much that we wanted to do. We ate at a little, where did we eat that day? I think it was at the,
in Hollywood Studios?
Yeah, I want to say it was one of the Star Wars places. It wasn't the Cantina, because that Cantina was that night. But,
Where?
We ate at one of the places in Star Wars. I can't remember it off the top of my head.
You can look at it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have the map right in front of me. I'm a doctor. Docking Bay. That's what we ate. We ate at the Docking Bay, which was really, really good. They had some. They had a souvenir cup there, which I ended up losing, and it was fun. It was great. We ended up. We decided to go over to Slinky Dog that day, and we did Slinky Dog Dash in Toy Story Land, which was a lot of fun. We ended up hopping over to Tower of Terror as well. And then from Tower of Terror, we went to...
I messaged you, Toby.
Yeah. from Tower of Terror, we went back to Star Wars because we then made our droids, which are over here. And then after the droids is when Finny Girl took her nap.
And when you're tired, man, you're tired.
And then after that, we had the lightsaber making experience. And the lightsaber making experience, we have a video of, thanks to Finny Girl, who was kind enough to record it. That will get uploaded.
I have video of him making the lightsaber, and I have a video of Rise of the Resistance. So if you don't want spoilers, avoid it. But
Yes.
if you do,
I will probably do them
I
as
can hook
separate
you up.
videos, though. I will probably do those as separate videos.
a girl can hook you up.
So after we did the lightsaber, we went to... Oh, I'm trying to remember everything off the top of my head. After the lightsaber, because I remember we slung it over the shoulder. That's when we ate at Docking Bay. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Yes.
That is what we did after that. That one is a surprisingly fun ride. You might think it's it's just a slow ride or whatever. It's actually it's very reminiscent of the Remy ride.
It's very
It's
like the Mickey, like the Steamboat Willie. I think
Yes.
is what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine you're actually going into the cartoon too. Like we were surprised. You enter into the theater and then without spoiling anything, the theater opens up and into the ride. Like you're watching the screen and then you're able to actually participate in the cartoon. Won't spoil it further than that. Tower of Terror. It's a drop tower. Imagine what it is. It's you go up and then you drop down. Again, not spoiling it too much, but what ride is this? Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is the one that I was just talking about.
10 times fast.
Yeah.
Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. If you struggle with your R's and W's,
Runaway Railway.
Runaway Railway.
And then after that, we had they had a show that happened at the theater there. But then we also were lucky enough to go to Oga's Cantina. So Oga's Cantina is the sit-down joint at Galaxy's Edge, where everyone goes to.
Don't you technically have to be 21 plus since it's a bar?
No, you don't have to be 21 plus.
Okay.
But
it
to be at the bar itself, you have to be 21 plus.
It is a bar.
It is a bar. They do
we
have
did not drink alcohol.
They do have non-alcoholic stuff, but it was really, really cool. Finny Girl got...
I don't remember which specific drink I had, but it had these little...
Basically boba beads is what it was.
Okay, so imagine with me here. If you've ever gone to a frozen yogurt joint and they have those little I think it's called mochi. No, it's not mochi. It's
They're the juice balls.
the little beads, and when you bite into them, it's this burst of juice or whatever. I had green apple, those basically, and at the bottom of my drink, here's the cup, and then there's
boba, yes.
different. There's a different part of the cup that's separate, but there was a dry ice in there, and so it made the drink fizz and
foam and
bubble and stuff.
It was really, really cool. I was actually kind of jealous that I didn't get it. I think
let you have a sip of it.
Yeah, I had a sip of it and it was delicious.
Let me see if I can find it.
I remember we also got, there was 2 really nice quality souvenir cups that we ended up getting, which we'll show when we do the souvenir section of this series. But we did that. And then the next day, let's see here, what else did we do?
So this picture, so that's the dry ice, and then that's the drink itself. But as you can see, it has this it's bubbling up, and unintentional. This cloud kind of looks like a Mickey Mouse, kind of.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, and I wasn't even planning that.
Yeah, careful how you're leaning forward there, dear.
Yeah, sorry.
So next day we did Rise of the Resistance. We only had to wait 70 minutes in line. which for Rise of the Resistance is like incredibly short.
Oh, here it is.
Oh.
Okay, it's on mute, but
Okay.
I will at least show the video. So that was my drink.
And then mine is that blue one.
But yeah.
Which is called the Hyperdrive, so, for those of you wondering. But, and yeah,
So.
and then we got some blue milk to share. So, how's it going, Charles? Welcome back. So we did Rise of the Resistance the next day, which was fantastic. We'll do a whole another section about our experience with Rise of the Resistance, but just know that like half the time that we were waiting in line was part of the ride, which was amazing.
Yeah.
We did Muppets. We watched this Muppet Vision 3D, which is a nice, cute little show to watch if you're wanting to sit down for a little bit.
Put your feet up.
Yeah, you never have to wait more than like 10 minutes in line, which is great. Let's see here. We did Alien Swirling Saucers that day. We did Toy Story Mania that day. Both of which were nice, fun, quick rides to do. We did Rock and Roller Coaster, which was pretty fun. I liked that. And then it was a lot of shopping that day, as I remember. We got to we got to go to the 50s Primetime Cafe as our
Which is exactly what it sounds.
Yep.
I heavily suggest the meatloaf. You'll have dreams about that meatloaf, by the way.
Off to bed again. Alright, fair enough. Have a good one, Racing Fan. Take care. We'll see you on Saturday. Saturday will be the next stream. But yeah, I really enjoyed Hollywood Studios. It was a lot of fun.
I love Toy Story Land. Like, it was amazing. Slinky's Dog Dash, Toy Story Mania, which, by the way, Toy Story Mania is very similar to Buzz Lightyear's, what, I don't remember the full ride name, but
this
Space
Ranger spin, or
yeah, so you have this little, like, pointer gun fire
it's Carnival
thing.
Games is pretty much what it is.
Yeah, and so you have to, like, shoot it on all the targets and whatnot and try and get a bigger score than the person you're playing with.
Yeah.
But, it's a lot of fun. It's so much fun.
I love meatloaf. Have you tried the recipe? Not yet, but I do have it written down.
And then, what else? And then there's Alien Swirling Saucers or whatever, which is like the little green dudes in Toy Story. Basically their version of teacups.
Yeah, a little bit more complex, but more or less.
And then we went on that, it wasn't Dumbo, but it was...
Oh,
you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
I know that was in Hollywood. At least I think it was in Hollywood.
Was it in Hollywood Studios? I don't think it was in Hollywood Studios.
I don't remember. Anyway, long story short, since everybody's getting tired, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of getting tired too. We kind of already talked about Animal Kingdom. We went on the Avatar ride. We did Navi's River Journey. We did Expedition Everest, which, spoiler alert, it goes forward. And it goes backwards.
And it goes forward again.
And it goes forward again.
It's different tracks. It's a lot of fun.
So, there's that. Let's see. We also did the safari, which I highly recommend if you're a huge animal lover.
Get Lightning Lane for it though if you can.
Yeah. It's a 20-minute safari ride.
Yeah, it's like 20-25 minutes.
20-25 minutes. But you get to see, like, the giraffes, my favorite. And you get to see, like, the lions, and then there were also, zebras. And what's cool is there, at least as far as I could see, there were no fences. Like, these animals had such wide area to roam, and they weren't, like, constricted to these, like, cages and whatnot. Like, they could just walk wherever they wanted to. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful.
And they did a good job of sort of respecting distance for animals as well. Like,
animals don't come up to you.
Yeah.
Like, that would be cool if they did, but they don't.
And they didn't stay in one spot for too long. So, like, they if they saw something cool, they would stop for a minute, show it off, and then they would kind of be like, okay, we need to move forward. Part of that's probably, ride capacity, keeping people moving, but it's also probably good for the animals so that, they're not getting too used to these cars, stopping so that
and
they can push it out. Reminds me of Busch Gardens, yeah.
We did, I won't go into detail, but I got to see the veterinary facility, and I'll just leave it at that.
In a very personal way.
It's all about who you know. Anyway, and then we did the animation, what's it called? The animation experience at Conservation Station on Walt Disney World's birthday.
Not Walt Disney World's birthday.
Walt Disney's birthday. Whatever. I'm tired. Anyway, on December 5th, he would have been 120, and on that day, we did the animation experience. And basically, what you do is they give you, like, this piece of paper that has, like, a couple lines on it and whatnot, and they teach you how to draw a specific Disney character. And so the character that we got, I don't remember for the life of me.
I am a beautiful butterfly!
But it's the caterpillar from A Bug's Life,
yes,
is who we learned how to draw. So if you remember his name, great, but I don't.
It's a great experience in Animal Kingdom. You have to go to Conservation Station, so you actually have to hop on the train and then take the train over to the vet clinic. And in the back there, they actually have it, and it goes every, 25, 30 minutes or something like that. So highly recommend. It fills up quick. But next time you go, I highly, highly, highly recommend taking that time
to things I would do to experience that. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. And what's awesome is that this is coming from me, Little Miss Stick Figures. I don't draw. Period. Like, I used to draw a lot as a kid, but not really anything, really good.
Should I grab the pictures?
I mean, you can, sure. But the fact that they can make you have, completely no drawing experience, none whatsoever, and then walk you through step by step on how to draw a Disney character and actually make it look semi-decent by the end of it is pretty good. It's pretty cool. And then what else did we do? We talked about Feathered Friends in Flight. We talked about, I wish we could do the Cali River Rapids, but it was closed for the season. And what sucks is that it's due to open in, a week. What the heck?
All right.
Excuse me. So, then we did Expedition Everest, which we talked about. And then we did, Triceratops Spin.
Triceratops Spin.
That's what I was thinking of.
And then that was Animal Kingdom, yeah.
If you're really, really, really into dinosaurs, you will like Dinoland. Granted, it is geared towards little kids.
It's a very traditional, carnival.
Yeah, it's very kindergarten-esque, I will say. But still, go on a dinosaur ride. It is so much fun. It is so cool. You're in this, little Land Rover, okay? And you're, going through this, little jungle or whatever and, trying to, tag all these different dinosaurs. And it rocks a lot. And it, gas brake. And there's this one point where, a dinosaur is, coming at you, right in your face. It's awesome. It's so cool.
This one is yours.
Oh, okay. And that's basically more or less Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. When it comes to rides, anyway.
Yeah. I am a beautiful butterfly. See? It's not horrible, but it's not, the greatest drawing in the world. And I even wrote at the bottom, "Happy birthday, Walt."
Yep.
So, and
then
then
there's mine. And then I also have the Happy Birthday Walt in the bottom here with a little Mickey. So yeah. Let me...
Lovely. So, as far as like immediate thoughts come to mind and not like going into like specifics that Finn wants to get to later, that's basically more or less our Disney trip. I took a butt ton of pictures and videos, so much so that my phone like
went from
operates
empty to full.
super duper slow now. That I posted all on Facebook because that's like my main social media, my only social media platform. But I guess Finn and I had the same idea. Maybe eventually someday we can put together all the pictures and videos into like some kind of slideshow or something. So then that way you guys can view it here on the channel.
I do have a plan for the short term. Not going to reveal that at the moment, but short term, you might see a few pictures coming up on the channel soon. Highly recommend Genie Plus. I know it's somewhat controversial, but for those of you who are wanting to, what Genie Plus is, it's basically the new paid lightning lane that used to be free. What's good about it being paid now is that you kind of sort of, for people staying off property, still have the opportunity to kind of get a fast pass. Whereas people on property might feel a little bit gypped because of it, they still get bonuses, like being able to access certain things earlier. But basically, the paid lightning lane is very, very helpful. Especially if you're like a person who really, really likes rides. It's not as necessary in Animal Kingdom because, like, unless you're planning on doing a lot of the Pandora stuff, a lot of the Avatar things, it's not really all that necessary. We never really saw Expedition Everest get above 30, maybe 40 minutes of wait time in line. And then the only other thing that would really have much of a line would probably be the safari. A lot of it was shows, a lot of it was animals, that sort of thing. So plan accordingly.
Which we saw the Lion King show, and that was actually pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, like the people who sing in the show, like they have really good voices.
This Disney DVD is enhanced with Disney's Fast Play. More or less.
Basically.
We were enhanced with Fast Play.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah. Epcot is another one that might be worth it, but Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom definitely worth getting Disney's Genie Plus. Genie helped a lot with like, oh hey, here's something about that you might find interesting. Take that time and punch in plans or things that you know you want to do ahead of time. It helps a lot.
And it lets you know, like, projected wait times for the day. So, like, for an example, it's like, you might find this ride to have the lowest wait time at fill in the blank time of day.
And while that might not be the case, and, you know, it could be something totally different because everybody's like, oh, wait, you know, this has a low wait time right now. It's still very, very helpful because it gives you the options to work with.
Right.
I saw an article earlier that was like, Disney's Genie Plus ruined my vacation because I followed it and everything. No, you don't. Disney's Genie Plus didn't ruin the vacation. You ruined the vacation. Yeah. Disney's
it's just
Genie
there
Plus
as
is
a tool. Yeah. It's like, don't use it verbatim.
Yeah. And it helped a lot. When we used it as a tool and we used it for like the lightning lane and things like that, it told us when our firm plans were and then says, here's something else you can do to build around that, which was really, really, really helpful.
And on that note, don't go into Disney also thinking you're going to have every single step of your day planned out. Just go with the flow and you'll have so much more fun that way.
And it is still okay to have plans, just don't book them end.
Similar with the dining reservations. Like, don't plan out every single hour of every single day. Like, and at this time we'll wake up, and at this time we'll ride this ride, and this time we'll use the bathroom. Like, no. But also, at the same time, don't just go willy-nilly, like, oh, we're gonna go wherever the wind takes us. Because there are such things as reservations, wait times, and, like, if you didn't make said reservation, you're not getting in. Like, period. So, be mindful about it. Plan accordingly.
Plan the must-dos ahead of time, and be flexible enough with your want-to-dos.
Yeah.
Plan your must-dos ahead of time, be flexible with your want-to-dos, and your vacation will go great.
You can make a list of, like, okay, we absolutely, positively, without compromise, have to do this. But also, be realistic and be like, well, you know, if we don't get to this, it's okay. So, just keep that in mind. So,
and with
last minute thing
I think with that is a great first episode, kind of giving off our first impressions, sort of our, you know, like feelings from the trip, some stories from the trip, things like that. We'll definitely get more into the nitty-gritty as things come along. I think our next episode will probably be what park do you want to do first? We want to do the 4 parks.
I don't know. Because are we doing, like, what is your outline?
Outline is, like, do the 4 parks, and when I mean the 4 parks, it would be rides and experiences from the 4 parks and rank them.
Okay.
So basically, you would pick a park. We would do that one first, and then we'd have each park would be an episode.
Are you doing just, like, park as a whole? Are you going to do, like, food as an episode?
Food is going to be its own episode.
Shopping?
Food is going to be its own episode.
Like,
shopping is going to be its own episode. And then frequently asked questions and other things that don't fit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or other helpful tidbits of information.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So like, what should you do if you are a writer? What should I do if I am, a penny collector? Or what should I do if, I am a foodie? That's that sort of thing. Like,
I will end with this. Very random things. Make sure you go to Disney with good shoes, a backpack, portable phone chargers, a water bottle, chapstick. What am I missing?
We don't need to go through all this right now.
Empty luggage.
Empty luggage. Highly recommend.
And I'll just leave it at that.
We'll get into the nitty-gritties later. What park do you guys want to hear more about first? We will. This is the only. Boom, confetti. Yeah. What do you want to hear about first? The rest of the episodes are going to be actually like recorded, so they're going to be videos in addition to the live streams. So this is the last one. We have Animal Kingdom. We have,
in no particular order, we have Hollywood
Studios. How you're
Studios.
clicking here.
Sorry. Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
We have Magic Kingdom.
And Epcot.
And wherever Epcot went. Epcot.
There we go. So those are the different parks to choose from. We're gonna go through all of them in a certain. We could go through them in the order that we experienced them. We could go in reverse order. We could go in alphabetical order. We could go in whatever order you guys want. It doesn't really matter to us. But we would like you guys to tell us what park we should go through first.
My vote would be to just go in order of our trip.
In order of appearance sounds good.
Or order of, like, park that we didn't find as fun or as pleasing, and then work our way up to our favorite.
Okay. I like Toby's suggestion, order of appearance. Go through it in order, says Bloomio. Okay. I think
Magic Kingdom first?
Magic Kingdom first. So we'll start with Magic Kingdom. Then we will do Epcot, then Hollywood Studios, then Animal Kingdom will be the order that we go through it. Then we will talk about food. that we experienced. Then we'll talk about shopping that we experienced. And then we will close off this series, or mini-series, however you want to call it, with frequently asked questions from you guys in the comments, or any additional things that we would recommend for specific types of people, and any other things that might not necessarily fit in the rest. So like little small tidbits of information in conclusion and things like that. So we never did talk about our hotel room. I just remembered that from the beginning of the live stream.
We can talk about that too.
Yeah. So yeah, basically our hotel room, they upgraded us like 3 times. It was great.
Anyway.
Yeah. We'll leave that as a cliffhanger for another day. But
You're
yeah.
just gonna wave that around like a baton.
Yeah, wave it around. So, thank you all so much for watching and letting us kind of derp out and do this. I'm wanting, obviously, this was a lot more relaxed. The rest of them are going to have more scripts and things like that. It's going to be a much more structured video than this was. This is sort of get all the stories and stuff out of the system. Our next stream is going to be on Saturday, as promised. We're going to go back to Minecraft, back to basics. It's been a minute. When is the next Minecraft stream? There you go, Toby. There you go.
Beat him to it.
But yes, next live stream for Minecraft is going to be on Saturday. We're going to try to jump into the new updates since we haven't done that yet. And hopefully we'll figure that out. I don't know whether or not we will have the server up and running by then. But for sure we will be going through 1.18 first impressions, having a little bit of fun. And hopefully by Christmas we will have 1.18 going on Rising Dawn, so we can start the actual SMP for 1.18. So we just might.
Are you doing anything on the channel for Christmas?
There's a couple of small things that we're doing.
Eve?
There's a couple of small things that we will do for Christmas, but not necessarily during Christmas, if that makes sense. Like,
well, the reason why I ask is because we're gonna go see Finny Dad.
Yes.
On Christmas, so
we might jump into a brief mobile live stream to say, Merry Christmas and all that, but I don't think we will do anything because most of the time we just have, a couple of videos and whatnot to go up to hold you guys over and to let you all enjoy the holidays. So we'll figure that out as it gets a little bit closer though. But for right now, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch. Oh my. Also go onto the Discord because I typically post there before I do anything on the channel. Again, thank you so much for watching. And as always, I'm Finny Pooh.
I'm Minnie Mouse. Wait, no, I'm not. I'm Finny Girl.
And we're both signing off. Take care, everybody. We'll see you all on Saturday with some Minecraft.
Bye.
Take care.